We're in a public health crisis in the United States that dietitians can solve, but the healthcare industry isn't going to let you do it because it's a system designed to profit from chronic illness. Type 2 diabetes is an easy example. It's a preventable or reversible condition, as you already know, but we have 38 million type 2 diabetics in the US and another 97 million pre-diabetics. That adds up to 40% of the US population with a preventable or reversible chronic illness. The reason type 2 diabetes is out of control is because our healthcare system is built to maximize profit and not to heal people, and it's way more profitable to treat someone with diabetes for their entire life than it is to cure them. The only way that public health will be put as the top priority is if dietitians take matters into your own hands and take the lead on public health. And I'm going to explain how you can do that and get paid what you're worth. It all starts in your kitchen. In my world, every kitchen is a teaching kitchen, and that includes your kitchen. But let's start with why you should consider creating a cooking channel on YouTube. YouTube has been the #1 TV streaming platform in US households for 3 years now. More people watch YouTube on their big screen TV than they do Netflix or any other streaming platform. So a cooking channel on YouTube is a cooking channel on TV. If you want to have the greatest impact on public health, a YouTube cooking channel is how you do it. There's no more efficient way to reach a mass audience and deliver nutrition education in a fun way that people are actually going to receive it and take action on it. There's no better way than a YouTube cooking channel. YouTube is where you can go to build a business or a side hustle to give you some supplemental income. And that's really why I'm making this video, because dietitians are so overworked and underpaid, particularly given what it is you all do. You actually cure disease. You prevent disease. You teach people how to not get sick, or people who are sick, you teach us how to reverse that illness through food. There's really no more valuable medical knowledge than that, and y'all are not paid accordingly. And YouTube is how you can do something about that. YouTube has paid over $100 billion in just the last 4 years to YouTube channel owners. So from 2021 to 2025, YouTube paid over $100 billion. So you can absolutely bring your nutrition education to YouTube and build a profitable business or a side business, or it can just be a community service outlet where you're using YouTube to reach the most people possible. Share your expertise with the most people possible, because going back to YouTube being the #1 TV streaming platform in US households, there's really no better tool for reaching the broadest audience. When we're talking about public health education, food is medicine, when we're talking about food insecurity and ways to be more economical in spending your dollars, your food dollars, YouTube is the most underutilized tool for improving public health out of anything. If you think about it, with the reach that YouTube has and how well cooking content does on YouTube, anything food related, when we're talking about tools for improving public health, there's no more powerful tool than YouTube. And it's also the most underutilized by the public health professionals who, like you, who are the most qualified to provide us with information that we need. So you can absolutely teach and get paid on YouTube, and I'm going to show you how to do that later. But for right now, I'm going to show you how you can set up your kitchen, how you can turn your kitchen into a teaching kitchen and begin using YouTube to educate the public about nutrition and just improving their health. What I'm showing you here is everything that you need to turn whatever kitchen you already have into a teaching kitchen. And you may not need everything you see here. What I'm showing you here is a stainless steel table with a portable stove on top of it. The reason I'm pointing this out is because so often when I see a conversation online about teaching kitchens or announcing an opening or something like that, it's always some type of commercial type facility where you can accommodate a bunch of students, 10, 20 or more students in person in order to deliver that cooking class. And that's one way to build a teaching kitchen. What I would argue is you can create a much more effective teaching kitchen where you can reach many more people and teach them more effectively by turning your home kitchen into a teaching kitchen. And I'm going to show you some examples of that later. But it's important for you to understand a teaching kitchen is not one thing. It doesn't mean you have to get some big facility or, sign on with some organization so that you can use their facilities or whatever. You can teach out of whatever kitchen you cook in every day. And again, I'm going to show you how to do that. So the stainless steel table and the portable stove are what allow you to face the camera while you cook. You may not even need the stainless steel table. If you have a kitchen island that allows you to, where you can put a portable stove on top, you can just do that. And what that allows you to do, again, is face the camera. So now you've turned your kitchen into a TV kitchen or into a teaching kitchen, however you want to consider it. You still have access to your primary stove. Jessica still has access to her stove and still uses it, but your primary cooking surface is going to be the one that allows you to face the camera while you cook. And you may like the idea of hosting a teaching kitchen, but you don't want to appear on camera, or you don't want to show your kitchen on camera. And here's a very simple solution to that. What you see here is a smartphone on top of a tripod, and it's pointing at the table. So you can actually host your show without showing yourself or showing your kitchen, if that's what you want. It can be how you run your teaching kitchen. You can do your entire show every week or however often you want to teach without ever showing yourself or showing your kitchen, if that's what you want to do. Again, the stainless steel table and a portable stove is all you need, and you can turn any space into your teaching space. So what you see here with Jasmine's kitchen is that we're not actually in the kitchen. That red arrow is pointing to the carpet because we're just outside her kitchen. Her kitchen was a little too small. We could not fit the show in the kitchen. So we used a stainless steel table and a portable stove to bring her cooking show just outside the kitchen into the dining room. And the point here is that you can make it work. If you want to teach, you don't need a great facility. You don't need to spend money on anything. You can get a stainless steel table for like $100, and portable stoves are cheap. If you want to teach, you can turn whatever kitchen you have into a teaching kitchen and then build from there. And you'll see that in this next clip where we're in Jasmine's new apartment, and we're able to upgrade her cooking show because now she has a kitchen where we could actually bring the table into the kitchen, and you can see that this show is much nicer than the one she had before, but she got started with what she had. And that's something that I want you to really understand. I want to drive that point home, is you don't need anything that you don't have. You can start teaching with what you have. What's more important is that you teach, not what kind of facility you have to teach in. So having a nice commercial space where you can bring in a bunch of people, that's great if you can do it, but you don't need that. And really, you can reach more people by teaching from your home kitchen. Like I said, I'm about to show you that. Here is a video from the Ethan Klobowski YouTube cooking channel that has over 688,000 views in just a couple of months. Ethan has 2.4 million subscribers on YouTube, and this particular video has just under 700,000 views. And this is a video about grocery shopping, where he's teaching the audience how to shop efficiently, how to do meal planning so that you get the most out of your grocery dollars when you're shopping. And take a look at, I'll put a link to this video and all the other videos that I share with you in the comments, in the description box of this video. But take a look at the comments here and see this dialogue that's taking place about food and healthy eating. And this is something that you have the opportunity to do, to lead this dialogue as a licensed healthcare professional. This next video is a video on how to build a pantry. This video has 32,000 views. I saw this lady on a podcast. She's a mom, and she's just teaching what she knows to help people eat healthy, not waste food, and be as cost effective as possible, stretch their grocery dollars as far as possible. And she made $250,000 last year just from selling a cookbook that she has. So this is another example, and she's got a healthy, active comment section here. This is another example of what you can be doing. And what the message that I'll keep stressing is that these people you see here, these influencers, none of them are licensed dietitians. They're not taking anything away from you. They're not stopping you from participating. So I would encourage you to not have a negative sentiment towards these folks, because I've seen that. And my thing is, these folks are showing up and addressing a need. People need more nutrition information, more information about how to eat healthy. and the healthcare system is failing them. And so folks like this guy here, Mike G, are showing up and filling that void by bringing that information to people where they are. And there's nothing stopping you from doing this as a licensed dietitian. I'm really encouraging you to do that. That's why I'm showing you these examples. Mike has 5 million subscribers. He's been on YouTube for a really long time. And this particular video is a meal prep video with 2.6 million views, 2,300 comments. And these numbers that I'm pointing out these are not vanity numbers, not just pointing out these numbers for numbers' sake. 2.6 million views. That means 2.6 million people, or some folks may have watched it, a couple of times, but let's just call it even 2 million people have watched this video because it benefited them. They got some information from it that was helpful to them. And this is what I'm talking about when I say you can have far more impact from your home kitchen than you could from any quote unquote teaching kitchen that's a commercial space where you can accommodate 10 or 20 people or even 50. This is one video that reached 2.6 million people. This video on how to build a pantry and teaching people about food preservation, 32,000 views. That's 32,000 people that she helped with this video. This video on planning your grocery store run, 688,000 views. 688,000 people helped. That's what this is. So this is the importance of YouTube. This is why I say YouTube is the most underutilized resource in addressing public health as well as food insecurity, because we see the influencers here, but where are our licensed dietitians? You guys, you have the opportunity to do this. That's why I'm making this video to help you see this opportunity and hopefully encourage some of you to start doing this. This last channel that I'm going to show you is the Rainbow Plant Life channel. This is a vegan cooking channel hosted by Nisha Vora. This lady is a lawyer. She decided to walk away from law. She didn't want to practice law anymore and teach herself how to a plant-based lifestyle and teach other people as well. She's grown her channel to 1.5 million subscribers. And every video she posts, she's generally getting over 100,000 views. This was 102,000, 106,000, 55,000, 102,000. Here's one, 386,000. There's another one, 181,000, 189,000 views, 230,000 views. And again, I'm pointing this out because it's not about numbers for the sake of numbers. This is about reaching people and helping people. These folks that you see that I've just shown you and ones that you're aware of, none of these people have any kind of medical credentials that I'm aware of. But they're teaching people about food. And they have this high view count for these videos because they're providing information that is useful and helpful to people. And what I want you to understand is they're not taking anything away from you. This is something that you have the ability to do and something that I really encourage you to do because you can do it better than they can. You have education and professional credentials and expertise that these folks don't have. And we really need that. We're in a public health crisis in this country, as you know, and we need more food educators. We really need more licensed food educators. And so don't look at the influencers and be mad at what they're doing and how they're making money. And all of these people are running businesses and making multiples of what a dietitian makes. Don't be mad at them for doing that. Learn from them, and you can do the same thing. This isn't going to be the answer for everybody. Everybody doesn't want to run a YouTube channel and do this. But for some dietitians, this is the right answer. This is the way for you to have the impact that you want to have, reach the people you want to reach, have the effect on public health that you want to do. This is how you can reach many more people, reach the public with your information. The analogy I'll draw is that these folks, there's a lot of thirsty people out here. they're hot and thirsty. These folks are taking ice cold water to them. Whereas for nutrition education and assistance, what the healthcare system requires people to do is fill out some paperwork. You got to go get an appointment with your doctor and then just to go get some ice water. So to get some water from you, they got to jump through all those hoops. Whereas these people are saying, okay, there's these people over here that are hot and thirsty. Let me fill up a cooler with some ice and some water and take it to them. You have the opportunity to do this as well as a licensed dietitian. You can do it better than these folks can. And I encourage you to do that. And oh yeah, here's one more thing I want to show you, because this is something that dietitians can take action on right now that will separate you guys from the influencers. So this page that I'm on is the YouTube health application page. There's a program, YouTube has a program where I'll just read it. Certain categories of healthcare professionals and health information providers can apply for YouTube's health product features. And what this does is there'll be a banner. You apply for it and there'll be a banner on your channel that designates you as a licensed healthcare provider. So that separates you from these influencers and just folks who have no real credentials. And there's some additional benefits. YouTube will rank you higher in searches. So when people are searching for information about, diabetes prevention or reversal or whatever, you can come up in the top of those search results because you are a licensed healthcare professional. The only problem is, if you look at this, if you look at the categories that they offer, see if you're eligible. Well, first, let me read a little bit more about this to you. By applying for these features, your channel may be eligible to be identified as a health source on YouTube. Once approved, your videos will have an information panel containing context for users that the videos they're watching are from licensed healthcare professionals. Additionally, your videos will be eligible to show up in our health sources shelf at or near the top of search when users search for answers to questions about health topics. The problem with this program is they don't have dietitians as one of the designated specialties that you can choose from to apply. This is something that I'm encouraging you to reach out to your professional organization and have them contact YouTube, lobby on your behalf to have dietitians listed as one of these designated licensed healthcare professionals that can apply for this designation so that you can separate yourself from food influencers. If you think about it, if anybody should be able to do this, certainly dietitians should. You guys prevent illness and you help reverse illness through food. So why shouldn't you have this designation? Why shouldn't you be able to do this? And it's I think, really a matter of education. Just like the general public doesn't know the difference between somebody who's calling himself a nutritionist and a licensed registered dietitian. People don't know the difference unless you educate them. And I'm certain that this oversight on YouTube in behalf regarding this program is because they just don't know. So it's a matter of dietitians advocating for yourselves, going through your professional organization, getting them to reach out to YouTube to advocate on your behalf, so that if you do decide that a YouTube cooking channel is what you want to do, if this is the way that you're going to be able to help people, you should absolutely be able to have a designation that separates you from non-licensed professionals. This is a program that they have that is intended for you, but they may not know that you exist. They may not know that a registered dietitian is a thing. And so that's one of the things that I want to challenge you to in this video is reach out to YouTube through your professional organization. There should be a designation for you guys so that those of you who choose to educate people through YouTube are separated from people who are not licensed dietitians. So now let's talk about some ways that you can make money from this, because making money is important. You have to be able to take care of yourself and your family. And this is important. And this is not something that you should feel guilty about, because that's why we go to college, to develop skills that will allow us to earn good money and be able to take care of our families. I went to school for computers. I have a bachelor's and master's degree in information systems, and I didn't do that so that I could struggle to earn a living. I did that so that I could be paid very well to solve computer problems. And you went to school so that you could learn how to be paid well to help people prevent and reverse chronic illness, or whatever variation of that you went into dietetics for. The point is, you've made a very large investment in yourself, and you should be reaping some benefit from that investment. And here's some ways that you're gonna be able to do it, because the healthcare system is currently failing you guys. And here's some ways that you can take matters into your own hands. I'm a huge advocate of the $500 Zoom session for dietitians. You guys can sell meal planning consultations, for example, and there's an audience of people out there who will pay you for it. Meal planning consultations, pantry audits via Zoom, where people show you what's in their pantry and you tell them what's wrong with it and what substitutions they can make based on whatever the concern is that they came to you for. And understand that there is an audience out here for you for that. Everybody's not going to be able to pay $500 for a Zoom consultation, but there is no solution that's going to work for everybody. So this is something that you offer for people who want that level of service. And understand that those people are out here. Look no further than these weight loss drugs that people are paying $1,000 per month for. So don't have the mindset that nobody has any money. People have money for what's important to them. And so these same folks who are paying $1,000 a month for weight loss drugs, some of those people will pay you once a quarter for a Zoom consultation where you talk to them about what they need to do with their diet in addition to being on those weight loss drugs. And then there are other people who have no interest at all in taking weight loss drugs, and they want to pay you to help them develop a meal plan where they can lose weight simply by changing how they eat. There are plenty of people out here who will pay you $500 for that. It's simply a matter of you making that available, because this way is so much more convenient than going through the traditional healthcare system where you got to go to your doctor and get them to make the referral and all of the paperwork and everything that you got to do. This is where influencers are showing you a more effective way that people like better. They just give folks a way to pay them, and then they provide whatever the information is that those folks were looking for. Now, that information is not the same quality of information that you're able to provide. Sometimes it's just straight up wrong information, but the process that they're doing, where they're taking a solution to people, making it easier for people to get the help that they need, that is something that you can do. That's the same thing that you can do as a licensed dietitian. So why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you make an appointment available on your calendar? People have to pay $500 to schedule that appointment and then get what they want. There are folks who have a history of diabetes or high blood pressure in their family, for example. People like me. Folks think that stuff just runs in the family. I know better, but a lot of people don't. But more and more people are becoming aware of this, and it's important for you to create that awareness, help create that awareness that high blood pressure and diabetes don't run in the family. Bad eating habits that produce high blood pressure and diabetes are what run in the family. There are people who will pay you to help them clean up their family cookbook, because a lot of these family cookbooks are full of recipes for cardiovascular disease. Quite frankly, that's what they're passing down. That's what they're teaching people. And so there's an audience of folks out here who would like to be a part of changing their family history by working with a dietitian and you helping them understand how they can adjust the recipes in their family cookbook so that they can continue those family traditions without passing down traditions of diabetes and high blood pressure. And these are high income people, folks like me. Like I said, I got 2 degrees in information systems before I even went into business like this. There are people who are at a stage of life and at an income level where $500 to talk to somebody like you is the bargain of a lifetime. So don't just think about people who don't have any money. Those are not the only people who exist. You are still going to provide services that cater to folks who don't have a lot of money. And there's also these people who do have plenty of money who will pay you to just give them the answer. I would like to just go to your calendar, see what's available next week or the week after. Yep, I'd like to talk to you at 3 o'clock on Tuesday to be able to ask the questions that I have and get the answer. And it just be as simple as that. I don't have to jump through a whole bunch of hoops that the healthcare industry has put up. I can just go straight to the expert and get the information that I need. There's nothing wrong with you offering that. And that does not prevent you from taking insurance clients, people who need to pay through insurance. It's not one or the other. It's both. And when you offer both, you're able to deliver the most benefit to yourself as well as to the people that you're trying to serve. This group of people need to access your help this way. This other group of people need to access or would like to access your help through this other way, and they have the means to pay for it. Another revenue strategy that I like for you, and this one I know may require you to really sit with it and think about it, is the $10,000 grocery store run. So this is a very high level service that you're providing to a handful of people who want it. Most people will not want this, but there is an audience of people who will. And so this level of service is where you're going to go with them. You're going to go to their home and take a look at their pantry, see what they have. This is an in-person, this is basically a doctor's call, the house call like doctors used to make. You can go visit their home and you can go to their grocery store with them, the grocery store that they shop in, and walk through their grocery store with them and teach them how to shop in their grocery store, how to shop for health or whatever their objectives are. That's a $10,000 service that people will pay you for, not a whole bunch of people, but the right people. So when you got a service like that you offer for a certain type of clientele, they will absolutely pay you for this. You need to understand that people are spending more money than this on handbags and watches, okay? That client base exists. You can service those people, a handful of those people, and make a lot of money with a little bit of your time. And what that does is free you up to provide more services to people who don't have that kind of money. Again, it's not one or the other. It's providing premium services to people who want to pay for that. And those premium clients that you have enable you to provide much more services and much higher quality services to the people who don't have that kind of money. It's not one or the other. Going back to the example of the people who have done really well for themselves, but they still have this history, this family history of diabetes and high blood pressure or whatever the condition is. Paying you $10,000 to come to their home and work with them one-on-one, you are a licensed healthcare professional. How much do you think it should cost for a licensed healthcare professional to come to your house and provide services? Okay? I need you to understand what your value is. If you can teach me how I can improve how my family eats so that my children, my nieces, my nephews, the generations that come after me do not suffer from preventable chronic illnesses the way my uncles and my aunts and grandparents and on suffered from these diseases that were completely preventable, for the right audience, that is worth way more than $10,000. There's plenty of people out here who have more money than they're ever going to need, and investing in something like the future health outcomes for their family over a span of generations, paying 10 grand for that, it's not a big deal. So please, you gotta do some recalibration of your thinking and understand that there are people out here who have plenty of money and they value your expertise and will pay you for it. It's simply a matter of you asking, a matter of you giving them a way to pay you for that premium level of service that you otherwise wouldn't be able to provide. You obviously can't do that for everybody. You can't go to the grocery store with everybody. You can't go to everybody's pantry, but what you can do, go to everybody's home to help them audit their pantry. But what you can do is provide that level of service for a handful of people. And with the money that you get from that and the time that you get from not having to trade a whole bunch of hours for making that large amount of money, you could make YouTube videos, for example, where you take people on a grocery store walkthrough. It's not their grocery store, but it's a grocery store. And you can just show them things that they can adapt and apply to whatever grocery store that they shop in. You can do a pantry audit of a friend or your own kitchen or somebody else and put that into a video that you use as a teaching tool to show people how they can adapt what you're teaching to help them with their pantry. These are the kind of things that you can do. You go make money. You got to take care of yourself first. Go get your money. And then that's going to provide you with the resources that you need to take care of so many other people. Corporate cooking classes. This is another $10,000 and up opportunity. Public speakers, $5,000, $10,000 for a 1 hour presentation. That's normal. That's not out of the ordinary or irregular in any way. That's normal. And it's kind of at the low end of public speaking fees. You can teach a corporate cooking class and get paid $10,000 for that. So please understand, this is something that you can do right now. There are people who are doing this right now. The only reason you're not doing it is because you haven't put yourself in a position to do that. This is absolutely a way that you can make money. The $10,000 corporate cooking class you can do. And some of these companies will bring you in quarterly if they like you, because you're solving a problem. Their healthcare costs are skyrocketing and their employee productivity is down because this epidemic of chronic illness. So by coming in to teach people how to eat healthy, you're actually solving a revenue problem. You're helping the company make more money over the long term, because productivity lost due to chronic illness is costing them money. So they wouldn't be bringing you in and paying you out of the kindness of their heart. They're paying you this money because they expect that the information that you're providing over the long term is going to help them make more money, be able to keep more money instead of putting it into paying for healthcare. So again, you have to recognize your value as a dietitian. You can help these companies save money and therefore make more money, and they will absolutely pay you for it. They have a budget for this. This is not some radical concept that you're coming at these people with. They already have a budget for bringing in employee enrichment speakers throughout the year. It's simply a matter of you reaching out and making that pitch the same way an influencer would. The difference is you have credentials that will get you that gig, whereas that would be a much harder task for an influencer to get a corporate cooking class gig. They can do it, but it's actually easier for you to do it and justify being paid more for it. But again, it's about you making the decision to put yourself in that position and make the ask. That money is out here for you, but you got to ask for it. A paid membership community is another business model that I really like for dietitians. There are a couple of ways you can do this. One way could be you charge $50 a month for access to a private online community, a private online platform where people are able to ask questions at any time, where you're posting meal plans, providing nutrition advice, whatever education that you would provide to people in a group context. That's what you would do inside your private membership community. And there are definitely people who would pay you for it. Again, we're talking $50 a month. You get 200 clients. That's $10,000 per month. That's your $100,000 business right there. Let's say you were focused on diabetes education, teaching people how to prevent or reverse diabetes. That might be your area of specialty. You can absolutely find 200 people that are willing to pay you $50 a month to be able to type, post in a private forum and be able to ask questions and get help, and have, you putting out meal plans every week. Maybe you go live on Zoom every other week or once a month, or whatever it is you want to offer. Whatever program that you would structure to help those people, That's what you can offer, and all they're paying for is $50 a month. So again, in that diabetes example, it costs way more than $50 to be diabetic. Okay, the impact that has on families, not just the money, but beyond that, that's a no-brainer for the right people. And with 38 million type 2 diabetics and 97 million pre-diabetics in the United States, that's 135 million people. All you need is 200 people that would rather pay you $50 than have to deal with diabetes. That's not asking for a lot of money. Another way you could do that's kind of the normal priced option, or you could do it on an annual basis and make it and target it at a higher income client. Charge $10,000 a year for the same thing. Whatever problem you want to solve, whatever your expertise is in nutrition that you want to help people with, you find the audience of people who are willing to pay $10,000 a year for access to a licensed dietitian. And those people are out here. And you gotta, when I say these numbers, I know a lot of people go, oh man, that's too much money. Really? Is it really? How much are you worth? Okay? Think about the investment that you've made in yourself already to be where you are. Think about the problem that you solve for people. You can help them get diabetes out of their life. You can help them get diabetes out of their child's life or their spouse's life. You can help them get high blood pressure or obesity out of their life. The toll that chronic illness takes on an individual and the people who care about them over the course of their life, you're able to help them avoid all of that. How much do you think you're worth? If you're not worth $10,000 over the course of a year, somebody being able to just, again, type a question and get an answer from you, or receive guidance periodically from you posting things like, hey, here's what, my diet and wellness guide for the spring, or here are the kind of things you want to incorporate in your diet during the summer and things you want to avoid, and your monthly Zoom session or whatever this is that you want to offer, your way of educating people. If you think providing all of that over the course of a year to somebody for $10,000 is too much money, then my question to you is really, how much do you think you're worth? Like, if you could put a number on it, what number you want to put on it? Because that's a big part of this problem with dietitians being underpaid. If you guys just accept what the insurance reimbursement rates are and accept the salaries for these various positions that you guys are offered, and you don't do anything about it to put some pressure on them to raise those salaries, why would they do it? Why would they do it? You have skills, you have knowledge that you can sell on the open market and make way more money than what the healthcare industry is paying you. And if you choose not to do that, why would they ever pay you more? You have the ability to put pressure on them. If enough of you all start offering programs like what I'm suggesting, cash programs, the $50 a month private membership community, and enough of you are starting to create six-figure businesses for yourselves to where you're turning down those jobs and they're just not able to fill them, that's how you put pressure on them. But so that, again, that goes back to, if you think having access to you for an entire year, if you don't think that's worth $10,000, then how much do you think you're worth? Don't sell yourself short. I'm telling you, you're worth this and more, but it doesn't matter what I say. It matters what you say and what you believe. So if you don't think you're worth $10,000, then ask yourself, how much do you think you're worth? If you don't think you're worth $50 a month, how much do you think you're worth? Another big payday opportunity for dietitians is sponsorships. I know you see the influencers doing this, getting brand sponsorships. And again, my message to you is, don't be mad at what they're doing. If you want to do that, you can do that and actually do it better than them and make more money than them. I know it's not about making money for a lot of you. You're not motivated by money, but money is a measure of how many people you're helping. The more money you're making, the more people you're helping, really. And with the sponsorships, the advantage that you have, so here's how that works. These brands have products that they want to promote. Let's just focus on cookware brands, for example, right now, pots and pans, kitchenware, whatever. They have products that they want to sell. And the way that you do that these days is through social media. This is how you market products and services. This is how you grow a business and reach your customers and sell stuff. Well, the influencers have mastered the art of growing an audience, and so that makes them attractive as partners for selling cookware, for example. The problem is social media has gotten to a point, it's been around long enough that somebody could have started on social media in high school and gotten really good at it and built up an audience, and now they're in their 20s and they're getting these brand sponsorships. They're making great money through social media, and they've never actually had a real job. So these folks are not professional. A lot of times they've never worked in any kind of corporate environment. They didn't have to go to college. They've never just gone through any kind of institutional program, any kind of just corporate America, so to speak. So basic email etiquette, basic how do you communicate with people in a business environment, they've never had to develop those skills. How do you doing what you say you're supposed to do, doing what you said you were going to do, and doing it on time because other people's work is dependent upon you doing your job. They've never actually had a real job and worked in those kind of environments. So these people are not great to work with, but this is who these companies have to work with because that's what's available to them. You, on the other hand, as a professional, a licensed healthcare professional, you've gone through college, you've gone through all of the grooming that we go through to be a part of corporate America. You know how to communicate via email. You know how to be professional. You know how to do what you said you were going to do and do it on time. These are all attributes that will make you much more attractive to work with. And oh yeah, you got these credentials on top of it. Having a just random influencer promoting my cookware product versus having a registered dietitian using and promoting my cookware line. That's a much more valuable sponsor, brand ambassador. But for that to happen, you gotta do the work. You gotta do the same thing that the influencers are doing. You gotta start your cooking channel. You gotta reach out, do the outreach to these brands because they're looking for you and they would love to work with you and pay you a lot of money to cook with their pans, to do what you're already doing, just do it with their cookware. That money is absolutely out here for you. You can be getting paid $5,000, $10,000, $100,000. Imagine what you can do teaching people how to eat healthy, teaching people how to lose weight, teaching people how to get high blood pressure and diabetes out of their family. Just think about that. So through sponsorships, that's just another revenue opportunity that's out here for you as a licensed dietitian. And it's simply a matter of you making a decision about what you want to do with your expertise and your credentials and how you want to earn your living. So that's just a few examples that I can cite for how you can use a YouTube cooking channel to either supplement your income as a licensed dietitian, or this can be how you earn your complete living. If you want to just offer cash-based services and work with a few people every year and then use YouTube as your community service content, because let's say you choose one of those $10,000 avenues where you're getting $10,000 per client, you're working with a handful of people, and just a few hours out of the entire year, you're making $100,000. What are you going to do with the rest of your time? You can focus on your YouTube channel if you want it. That's a way that you could do. You let's say you had a $10,000 a year membership community. You get 10 people signed up in it. That's $100,000. Or you get 20 people signed up. That's $200,000 from a business that's not going to take a whole lot of your time and your energy. So now what do? How do you help the people who don't have that kind of money? Well, with all of this free time that you have because all your bills are paid, you can create the most massive, extensive body of work on YouTube that anybody could ever want. You can teach everything that you want to teach and make it available for free. It's on YouTube. It doesn't cost anybody anything to watch a YouTube video. So this is how you can take that nutrition education. You get paid first. You build a business that allows you to take care of yourself and your family first. And by doing that, you now have the resources that you need to take care of way more people. Going back to those examples that I showed you where they're getting hundreds of thousands or millions of views per video, that's the kind of impact that you can have. That's the kind of reach that you can have and help so many more people. It's not one or the other. You're going to help people who have money or help people who don't have a lot of money. You can do both. And I encourage you to do that. Dietitians are starting to leave the profession because you can't afford to stay. And that's the worst thing that can possibly happen for public health. That's why I encourage you to consider starting a cooking channel on YouTube. This is not going to be the answer for everybody, but there is no one solution that's going to be the answer for everybody when it comes to a problem this big. But a YouTube cooking channel might be the right answer for you, so you can have the career that you want and have the impact on public health that you set out to have. And it's not all or nothing. You don't have to stop doing your clinical work to run your cooking channel. This can be your side business that actually pays you what you're worth, or for some dietitians, this can be how you earn your living entirely because you find that this way is a lot more fun and a lot less stressful. Getting paid up front in cash to talk to somebody on Zoom is a lot easier than filling out insurance reimbursement paperwork, isn't it? The most important thing that you can do is understand that you're not powerless when it comes to your career and your income. There's nothing you can do today to change insurance reimbursement rates, but there are absolutely things you can do to create more income for yourself because you have extremely valuable skills in a country that's in a public health crisis. I'm here to help you get paid what you're worth if you want help. So if you're a registered dietitian, connect with me on LinkedIn and I'll send you a link to my calendar so we can schedule a time to discuss your options. Thank you for your time, and I hope to speak to you soon.